So recently, horrible allegations have been resurfacing against Sean Chiplock, the voice actor for Kinga, in which is a prominent character in the amazing digital Circus. As stated from the last video, we will cover the document that has been resurfacing against him, covering alleged harassment from him, and allegations of him actually harassing and being inappropriate with a 15-year-old when he was 23. And keep in mind too, these aren't the only allegations that have arisen regarding Sean Chiplock. A couple weeks ago, Twitter users even attempted to campaign for Sean Chiplock's removal from the amazing digital Circus voice acting cast due to a lot of weird and controversial comments he made in the past. And while some were problematic, they didn't have much basis behind them. However, this situation is much more serious than aforementioned situations. Now keep in mind, this document was constructed by a user named PK in 2019. This person extensively covers their experience with Sean Chiplock, who goes by the aliases Super Mega and Pommy in this document, and I will try and summarize the document in an easily digestible format, and this document will be linked down below if you want to read the whole thing. And keep in mind, the same users who made the original threads calling out Sean originally have started purporting these allegations around much more recently, so this situation is picking up a lot more traction. So anyway, the document starts off by PK stating how Sean had a malice towards them and was extremely spiteful, showing messages of Sean claiming PK's misfortune is his pleasure in some sort of sadistic comment stating, "Miserable PK equals happy me. She's almost my schadenfreude, a guilty pleasure in a way." And he was also spreading lies that this person got kicked out of uni for doing furry NSFW content, in which wasn't true at all, and he actually knew this as well, and she had personally told him it was due to monetary reasons. Here's another comment. "I wonder how that would look, knowing you got both kicked out of an art university for spending all your time drawing furry NSFW, and then got kicked out of a NSFW pay site for not spending enough time during furry NSFW." Now this document brings up extensive chat logs detailing what Sean and PK were discussing regarding his sexist comments he had made, and PK's banning of bad actors in an old chat room in 2013. Now regarding these chat logs in 2013, Sean had made it obvious to PK he never really advocated for the truth nor cared about it. He stated, "Here's the part you're missing, PK. Regardless of if it's a lie, many people will believe it is true, and as those many people share it, more will come to believe it, because how could so many people be so wrong?" This unhinged behavior fits in with what transpired in 2018 when Sean Chiplock, according to PK, author of this document, allegedly encouraged harassment towards her and stoked the flames, causing people to label her as a P3-ophile for no reason whatsoever. Now the author of this document also covers Sean's intimidation tactics in real life, as well as his tone-deaf and insensitive comments regarding PK's marriage and problematic relationship with her ex-husband. But the aspect of the document that people mainly refer to is how a 15-year-old basically contacted PK, the original creator of this document, and came out with their side of the story after PK released extensive proof of Sean basically harassing her. And the alleged victim in this situation states, regarding Pomni N64, which is Sean Chiplock's alias here, "I guess a lot of people have heard the history of Sean Chiplock, aka Pommy, English dub actor of Danganronpa's," I can't pronounce that, "since the lovely Purple Kecleon posted a journal exposing the way that he's treated her throughout the past 6 months or more. At first I wasn't going to say anything about the ordeal, but then I noted PK and got a positive response from her, as well as increasing amounts of encouragement in her stream, that it really inspired me to speak up about my experiences with him." And then it states here, "He proceeded to send me a voice clip of himself making relatively lewd noises and, well, doing exactly what he described in those Skype messages. He also inquired about my S3-exual orientation and gender identity, and went as far as to request clarification on what sort of mental images I something to, which was in my opinion very out of line and unsettling, because I'm literally an underage individual that he had just met at the time, practically ended my association with him, and though I still had him on Skype until today when I read Purple Kecleon's journal, I haven't spoken to him since then." And now after we've read that, we'll read an excerpt from PK's Google document in which states, "This journal is accurate to my memories of the Skype convo I had with this kid at the time, of them going over inappropriate ways Sean talked to them. I felt a little ill about the whole thing and had no idea what to do except encourage them to talk about it. I didn't want to discourage someone who has been victimized from talking about their experiences, and I thought that maybe Sean could learn to be more careful about who he talked about to what." And then here you can see chat logs from Wednesday, August the 28th, 2013 with Sonic Mega, also known as Sean Chiplock, Chiplock, who was 23 at the time, stating, "Is this the part where I awkward type an erotic RP paragraph and then send nudes while asking for free art? Or am I doing this furry thing wrong?" And then quotes it and ends it off with Pomni. And then this person, who was 15 years old at the time, who's blurred out by a red bar, states, "Red has shared contact details with Sonic Mega." PK continues by stating, "This was the message he sent the 15-year-old, taken from the journal, when they first started talking," and then states here, "A joke about asking for nudes." Sonic Mega continues by stating, "Yeah, I'm pretty shameless, so sometimes when people in Skype chats get too rowdy / RP horny, especially if they're gay," and then he puts in brackets, "which I'm not, I like to record snippets just for them to rile them up, either as the deep voice dom or the extremely pleasured sub." And then Red states here, "Oh my god, what? I'm choking." And then Sonic Mega gives them a file called constellationhole.mp3. I wonder what that is. And then he states, "Enjoy. This was after I started teasing one of them half-assedly, and the other one got mad that I was being detailed with only that person." And then Red states here, "Am I going to laugh or cry? It's like a game of Russian roulette." And then PK continues by stating, "This is an inappropriate voice recording he made that he sent to the 15-year-old about arousing gay people for fun even though he's straight," and then puts in brackets, "As an inside part of what made me uncomfortable with him in my chat were the undercurrents of making fun of sexism and making fun of gay people / women. I didn't realize it lined up with how he acted with other people. I hope it's different now." And then he continues by stating, "Well, this is probably more ignorance and stupidity, but ... as a male trapped in a female's body, are your fantasies still inherently female, or do you end up having ones more typically expected of males? For instance, if you do something, do you tend to have thoughts regarding being filled / taken, etc., or do you still like to fantasize about doing the filling? I'm just simply fascinated by the complexity and the capability of the mind, so opportunities like this pique my interest." And PK continues by stating, here he asks questions about what the 15-year-old something to, and about the fantasies unprovoked. It went from gender talk straight to invasive questions about sexuality. There wasn't even any asking if the topic was okay, which made them uncomfortable. The whole experience was uncomfortable, and the individual stopped talking with him after the breach of boundaries. Now, after Sean was confronted by these allegations, as PK stated in the document, he essentially just shifted the narrative and used ad hominems regarding PK, basically stating in reply to a Reddit post stating, "Sean Chiplock is a disgusting human being and a predator, more people should know." He stated, "Hi, this is Sonic Mega, yes, the real one. The writer of the journal OP linked to is under investigation for child and with screenshots / evidence included. They have gone as far as changing their name / online alias several times to avoid the backlash from their actions," and then linked a Kiwi Farms thread. And then he continues by stating, "As a performer / actor, I've always been open to doing requests for people, including 18+ ones. I still do adult work here and there, in fact, but it's only ever with prior permission or direct request from the recipient, and I would not send such audio to a known minor. I have elaborated more on this individual and their claims here. Please stop trying to connect this person to me. I don't want to be associated with their ongoing harassment and behavior, and this is the only thing that people continue to reference after all this time as evidence of me being a quote-unquote predator from an actual documented predator, or who all we know made a brand new account to post this. I do not appreciate it." And of course, essentially PK goes into detail on how this is an elaborate lie made to damage her reputation, as Sean Chiplock has aided lies being spread about her on Kiwi Farms, and once again, as he even stated before, regardless of if it's a lie, many people believe it's true, and as those people share it, more will come to believe it, because how could so many people be wrong? PK establishes how these lies and slanderous comments have severely damaged her reputation, made her fear for her own safety, made her feel extremely isolated and terrified. And if you wish, you can read the document, as links will be provided down below, which extensively go into detail about the intricacies behind the harassment campaign targeted towards her. And although Sean Chiplock has actually taken slight accountability for the harassment campaign he's actually put PK through, he still purports extremely career-damaging lies, as he basically claims PK is under investigation for bestiality and child grooming, yet there are no police investigations on PK, as she literally established in her document, and it's just more proof of the defamation and slander campaign she alleges that Sean actually put her through. Now, before ending this video, I'd like to preface this by stating there is no proof that Sean actually knew the age of this person, and these all do remain as allegations currently. However, please don't go and send hate to any side of the situation regarding this. It seems like a very messy situation, and I think both parties have actually avoided each other for the past few years. But anyway, this is basically everything the document has established, basically summarized in an easily digestible video. And make sure to leave a like and subscribe so more people can be made aware about this situation. And also check out my other videos as well, and keep in mind this video is not intended for hate, harassment, cyberbullying, or anything like that. This is just an educational, informative video going over the entire situation, and I'll see you guys in the next video, and make sure to check out my others. Goodbye.